Saturdays with Adam, and I am wearing my SWAT outfit because today we're talking about something very dangerous and very violent, and they're called relationships. So, uh, it amazes me how people sabotage their relationships over what I call surface things, right? You always have the froth on the surface of the ocean, and then you have the deep currents of the oceans, right? And if you argue about the froth, you will break up, you'll get divorced, you'll beat each other's throats. What you need to do is take care of the those deep currents that are really happening. So let's give a great example. So last night I was at the dinner with a very nice couple. They've been together 2 years. He's the CEO of a big company, young guy too. And they were talking about getting a new apartment. There was so much subtle anger between the two of them. And he said at one point at dinner, he said, yeah, well, we found a great apartment, but then she changed her mind. Imagine that. Imagine a woman changing her mind. And I said, okay, she changed her mind. Why? Was it, and I was asking him, was it an insult to you? Right? He clearly took it as an affront to himself. Why did he do that? Ladies, I want to explain something about men. Men, I want to explain something about ladies. He wanted to close the deal. He wanted it done. He didn't want to have to think about it. He runs a big company. He didn't say any of these things, by the way. And most importantly, he wanted to feel like he did a good job for her. Like they were settled. She'd be happy. She could start making the home. And he was done with that. He really wanted her to be happy. She clearly wasn't happy with the apartment. And when your woman doesn't feel happy and feels anxious, it makes men feel, in reaction, a little bit inadequate, a little bit uneasy, like we're not doing a good job, we're not really making her happy, what's wrong with me? Even if it's not conscious, it's down here. So he took that as a little bit of an insult and as a little bit of a, just as a problem in his life. So for her, I would say, in this situation, if she did change her mind, to say something like, honey, I love you and I want to make a house where I can make you so happy. Magic words for a man. I can make you so happy. This isn't it. Let's keep looking. Let's give it another week or 2 weeks. Set a firm limit on it. Makes him feel secure. And let's find a place that's just perfect so I can make you the happiest man in the world. That would calm him down because now he feels subconsciously that she's actually really on his side. He's not failing her and that she just wants to serve him even better. Tricky use of language, very, very effective. And guys, don't get upset if your woman changes her mind, all right? That's what I mean by playing at this level. If her gut didn't like the place and she really wasn't happy with it, she wasn't going to be happy there. You want her to be happy, and you want to support her in that decision. So when a woman changes her mind, don't take it personally. It's not personal. She knows something, right? I was reading a real interesting book about relationships, and I want you to keep this image when women get alert, all right? The image is a group of lions. So what happens at night is lionesses will sense danger. They can smell hyenas, they can hear, and the men will keep sleeping, as men do. The lionesses will hear something, they'll sense the danger, woman's intuition, more or less, in our species, and they'll feel anxiety, and what happens is the male lions will then spring into action, not because they actually hear what's going on, but because they sense the lionesses' discomfort and anxiety, and they immediately make a perimeter around the lionesses and the babies, right, the cubs. They don't even know what's happening. They just go into defensive mode, right? They go into fight or flight mode. With lions, mostly fight. So similarly, when your woman feels anxiety, and ladies, I want you to understand this about men, when you feel anxiety about something that actually especially involves him, they'll go into that mode. What do I do? Who do I kill? What do I break? Right? How do I get out of here? Whatever it is, fight or flight, and they're not really engaged with the actual thing that's happening. So that sudden change for him, where I decided I want to do this apartment, where she just says, I just decided without giving a reason. Now a man who's practiced will understand that's fine. If a man who's practiced in the dance of the masculine and feminine, where our job is to really create that safe space with solidity and with calm and with peace. I mean, there's no big deal. It's just an apartment, right? A man who's trained to understand that the feminine gets to play and gets to change her mind, and we stay steady and make things happen. right? But he took it personally. He took it as an ego thing. He took it as a failure on his part that he couldn't find her that apartment. It wasn't done. He wanted to close it down. It was his own impatience. That's how a man of skill would react. He'd say, okay, honey, we'll find a place that you're happy in. I want you to be happy. That couple is going to be very happy together. All right? So, SWAT jacket, right? You don't have to fight. You don't have to shoot. You don't have to get into conflict over the surface things. The apartment, changing her mind, surface thing. Underneath, she wasn't happy. She didn't feel safe. She didn't feel happy there. She didn't feel comfortable there. Deeper surface for the man, he felt like he was failing her on some level. He also kind of wanted to get this done so he can get back to business. It wasn't that important. The apartment was fine for him. So if you could take care of those levels and be attentive to each other's needs. If she said to him, honey, I like this place, but this is our first apartment together. I want it to be perfect. I want you to be able to wake up in the morning and go to work full of power and full of energy because the apartment is perfect and beautiful and I'm happy and you're happy. And this isn't that. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve us. That would have taken care of things at a lower level. And if he had understood, if he could have said to her, okay, but let's put a limit on it. I want you to be happy. If you're not happy, I totally understand. Let's give ourselves 2 weeks so I can really focus on work, but let's find something that makes you very happy. That will reduce her anxiety about asking for a great place, and everybody's happy, and then they can take off the SWAT jacket, right? We could all take off our SWAT jackets and enjoy each other and have some fun and have a drink and make love and kiss and go to dinner, which is what I'm actually about to do. So please try to keep that in mind. Don't worry about the surface things. Always try to figure out what's happening in those deep currents. I'll be talking a lot more about this in the coming months. It's a great subject because I did it myself. I see so many couples unnecessarily hurting each other on this level when they really don't have to. I'll end with one story right before I go to dinner. It's kind of a funny story. Back when I was young and married, and I knew nothing about relationships or the masculine-feminine dance, and she didn't know apparently as much either. I remember we were having an argument back in my arguing days in our kitchen, and we were just arguing. I don't even remember the topic. And she goes, but that's how I feel. But I said, but how you feel isn't rational. And we looked at each other, and we both realized just how ridiculous our conversation had gotten, or in this case, how I had gotten. And we just started laughing, and we realized that we were talking two different languages. So we're going to talk a lot more about in Saturdays with Adam and elsewhere about this idea of rational and feeling, right? Feeling and thought, and finding a way to bridge those two things. Saturdays with Adam. Please share this, by the way, if you found it interesting or helpful. If you know couples that are going after each other that they don't have to, please send it to them. Like it, smike it, whatever you do here on Facebook. Enjoy it, and send me your questions. If you have any questions you want me to answer in future Saturdays, I'm really happy to. All right? Have a great week. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. Love each other. We're only here for a short time. Might as well love each other and take care of each other. See you next time.